President Obama and Secretary Clinton created a vacuum the way they got out of Iraq. Because they got out, they shouldn't have been in, but once they got in, the way they got out was a disaster. And ISIS was formed. You started the Iran deal. That's another beauty, where you have a country that was ready to fall. I mean, they were doing so badly. They were choking on the sanctions, and now they're going to be actually probably a major power at some point pretty soon. Hillary has experience, but it's bad experience. We have made so many bad deals during the last... So she's got experience, that I agree, but it's bad experience.
Donald Trump going after Hillary Clinton's abysmal record during her tenure as Secretary of State last night during the debate. Joining us now is one of the co-authors of 13 Hours and one of the American heroes during the Benghazi attack, Mark Geis. Also with us, the author of The Field of Fight, Lieutenant General Mike Flynn. Both happened to be in the audience last night. I would have liked to have heard a little bit, Mark, about Benghazi, a little bit about her failure, not one question to me, but they wanted to talk about birtherism, which I thought was ridiculous. What was your reaction in the audience?
Well, you know, Sean, I think it just goes to show the bias that was there with the moderator, with Lester. You know, they never followed up on any question. Donald Trump was the only one who brought up anything about the 33,000 emails, and then it was brushed aside by the moderator. And, you know, I think they missed an opportunity to show America the type of leader that she's going to be. I mean, we have to look and see if this is the type of person we want who's going to be leading our country, that ended up putting people in harm's way for strictly her political gain. You know, that goes back all the way to 2011.
General, if you look at the money for the Clinton Foundation, if you look at the email server scandal, the money they took from Saudi Arabia, if vetting refugees, building a wall, not talking about Benghazi, Supreme Court, they missed a lot of serious issues here last night.
Let's get right down to the brass tacks here, Sean. You know, the birther issue was raised and Benghazi was not raised. You know, the birther issue didn't result in 4 dead Americans. The birther issue didn't result in a failed nation state in Libya. I mean, so for that not to have come up is unbelievable. So what we have, Sean, and this is the big decision for the American public, and I will tell you, millions of Americans are jumping on board with Donald Trump because this is a change election. And Donald Trump and millions of Americans are unbound by the past failures of the last 8 years, and the startup of that was where Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. I mean, we're talking about a past that has caused the rise of the Islamic State, and now we're talking about the Islamic State-inspired attacks in somewhere around 25 to 30 countries. Now, we don't even know how many, but just an unbelievable. Also, the contribution to numerous failed states, as well as you know, one other aspect, I think, as well as allowing our military to atrophy. I mean, those are the past failures that this election is causing the American public to wake up and say, hey, we don't need this any longer. We don't need this type of past set of failures. And frankly, this goes back for 30 years, Sean. So this is a big change election. And frankly, you know, as I looked at what, and I was there at last night at the debate, I saw Donald Trump being very presidential. He was sticking to policy. He did not, you know, get down into the lows of some of the things that Hillary Clinton raised. I mean, you know, the business about racism and really talking about, you know, stop and frisk. I mean, they were so wrong on those issues. And those are the kinds of things that the American public will hear more and more about this week.
And Lester Holt himself was wrong about stop and frisk.
Yeah, he was totally
wrong about
wrong.
Iraq.
I mean,
he was wrong about the economy. I mean, he got everything wrong.
That policy, Sean, that stop and frisk policy is a constitutionally correct policy, and it has led to it has led to a lot of lives not being lost.
The judge was thrown off the case, but we're running low on time, guys. Good to see you both. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.